This might be my favourite show of the year.
Why?
Well, because we haven't got any footy for the weekend, so we got a nice, quiet time of it.
Yeah.
But also, we get the main man in.
Yeah.
We got him in last year.
Yes.
He split us all down the middle so comprehensively. It took a couple of members a few days to recover.
Damo.
I'm looking at one, Damo.
Yeah.
I'm looking at another, Bernard.
Yes.
Fat and I are used to this
don't
sort
leave
of
yourself
feedback.
out. If he got you better than anyone.
We're used to this sort of feedback.
Yes.
We can bounce back from it.
yeah.
You two, you were sucking your thumb in the corner.
No.
Yes.
When Spud used to give it to me many, many years ago, Jim, I had a conditioning to it, although Will did
Will Anderson
take off a few more
Don't
players
compare
yesterday.
the great man to Spud. Spud bloody bumbling in the corner. Will Anderson, just eloquent and nailing us. Hello, Will.
Thank you very much for having me in. Look, here's the thing, Bernie. I apologise.
Oh, no,
I know
not
that
me
you're...
first.
No, mate. It's okay. We're not getting into it yet, mate.
Wait, next segment, Bert.
It's okay, mate. Bernie's got PTSD.
I'm nervous.
You should be nervous.
I've got therapists lined up out here ready because it got me last time.
It won't be enough, Bernie. I'm coming for you harder this year. So
Good.
finally get some content from you in the show.
You said not yet.
We haven't started yet, Bernie.
like
All
it.
I'm saying is this is a tough year to come in. Like, you know, I'm dedicating today's one to Collingwood because it is tough to go back to back in the modern day environment, but particularly in the environment that the AFL's in the moment, Bill, because you know this is the most unpredictable season of all time. You know, like umpiring decisions, interpretations, ladder positions, teams that are going to be
games.
playing in the finals. Like, I mean, this season has been so bizarre. Rory Lobb is now a good footballer. Like, the world is topsy-turvy. I don't know what we're going to be doing today. I don't know how we're going to get through
I
it.
heard a great stat about Rory Lobb.
Yeah.
If he wins the final when they play, well, I don't know, what's that, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks
2
time.
weeks ago.
2 weeks time.
All right, hang on. We might have a log in, Rosie. We're time travelling
He
now.
might be
Are
one
we,
of
Bill? Do a
only
time call, mate.
he might be only one of 6 players to win 3 finals. No, to win a final with 3 different finals.
Oh, no. What are you doing? Come on.
2 weeks
To win a
ago.
final with 3 different clubs.
What?
There you go. Wasn't that worth waiting for?
When's he playing 2 weeks ago?
So in 2 weeks' time. Cut that out, luckily.
Okay.
You get an example, Will, of what we put up with on Saturdays. So Fat goes out on the piss Friday night.
Yes.
He comes into the Saturday rub in no condition to broadcast, and that's an example.
I mean, at least you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm wrapped at the fact that you're actually
Yeah,
here in the
that's a good point.
studio.
That's a good
I
point,
mean,
Will.
it's only been, 1 in every 4 episodes of the season that you've actually made it in this season. So,
We need you to hold on to your
oh,
good-
no. This is just, mate, this is just me warming up. This is foreplay at the moment. Oh, hang on, Bernie's still here. Sorry, you're normally gone out of the show by now while Rosie's getting your enough segment together for you.
He's coming stacked.
That takes an
this is
hour
just-
before the show to do that.
Am I done? Am I done now? Oh, surely that's me out of the way.
Talk Western Bulldog.
Mate, I'm
Yeah,
just
exactly.
marinating you, getting you ready for the roasting, my friend. This is Damo's dish, and it is best served cold.
Are you excited? Before we get to what I can't wait for, are we excited? The Dogs,
the Dogs.
and the Hawks. The two best in it for me.
Yeah.
One of them's going to knock the other out, which is a great shame.
I mean, this is tough for Damo, who hates both teams. Like, famously, on the record, you must be just absolutely loathing this. Damo's actually got tickets for the AFLW. He's the one who's gone out to the Whitney Oval that night.
Yeah.
He wants the game to stay at the same time. How do you feel about this, Damo, the Hawks? And have you come around to one or the other? Like, Bevo and you still not talking,
I honestly
right?
do think, as Jim does, that the Hawks have the ability to get through, but I don't have confidence that in them getting past the Bulldogs. In this one.
yeah.
Weirdly enough, I like what the Bulldogs have done too. So
What do you reckon, Bernie?
No, I think the Hawks will beat the Dogs this weekend. Sorry, I know
Not
you're
from
a
you,
Dogs
Bernie.
fan. I think they can. It's, as you said, very close comp, and I think they can get all the way to at least a prelim. So exciting.
is Sam Darcy Will better than Luke already?
Oh, yeah. I mean, duh.
Already?
Are you kidding me?
In his third year, he's
No one's
better than.
disputing that.
No.
Like, there's
I
not
mean,
even a
even Luke's
discussion
not
around it.
disputing
No,
that.
exactly.
Like, I think Luke is now officially the third worst Darcy to play in the AFL. I mean, and that includes his old man. He used to get his hair washed at half time.
Really?
Yeah, this
Dave
is true.
Darcy.
Dave Darcy, back in the day. This is a famous story.
No.
At half time for the games to warm up, playing out of the Western Oval. You go in and have like a hair wash, get the shampoo in, warm him up, Bill.
I've never heard that. Are you happy with Bevo? Because he was about to get sacked at some stage during the year.
A lot of people thought that, but here's the thing, Bill. They don't understand what Bulldogs... Bevo is the longest-serving Bulldogs coach now. He has the highest winning rate of any Bulldogs coach in Bulldogs history. In my lifetime, for 45 years, I had not seen my team play in a grand final.
Are you only 45?
Okay, Bill. Gonna have to run you through how...
How old are you?
Yeah, well, if you do the maths, the Bulldogs won in 2016. We were going to get to that in a second.
Oh, yeah.
The first 45 years of my life, I had not seen them win a premiership.
Yes.
Do the maths,
Okay.
Bill.
Right.
All right, do you want to do the
Maths,
maths now?
Yes.
So
Say
you're
you're good at maths.
53.
Honestly.
I'll look it up.
What the hell?
I'll look it up. I'm going to Google you.
Anyway, I'm 50, Bill. Anyway, that wasn't the maths. It's fine. It's confusing for you.
He's
I
now gone to
understand.
his
Google machine.
calculator
I've
on
lost
his
him now.
phone.
I'm so
to do the
sorry.
maths.
I should not have done this. I'm
You're
so
only 50.
sorry. Yes, I'm 50.
Have you just
said that.
Googled Will Anderson?
Yeah, well, William James Anderson.
Yeah, it's got two L's in the middle. You didn't pronounce either of them. I appreciate that. I didn't realise there was a Y in the middle of the name. It's your name. Can you not pronounce your own name?
No, not William.
William.
Let's go to personal life. Here we
Oh,
go.
yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is good, mate.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Anderson spent time between Australia and the US. Mm-hmm. Why?
What, you think he got exiled?
Why?
Why?
Why did you go to the US for 6 years?
Good maths, Bill.
What are you doing?
It says it here.
I understand the premise, but what's the whole point of this bit?
I just want to know what you were doing over there.
Well, I was working, Bill.
As a comic.
No. Nuclear physicist. Doing some time with NASA.
Building
Rocket
some of those
scientist.
submarines we've built.
Are you going out to the opening of the Western Bulldogs, the kennel?
Yeah, I did. It happened weeks ago.
No, but what's this show?
What are you doing, Bill?
You need a park, Bill. Park him.
We're
Park him.
just
Seriously.
going to get to a break.
Just-
I don't think there's any point
so
continuing at the
sorry.
moment.
Yeah, it feels actually. Is this a?
Get to
are
a
you on the
break.
front foot?
No, back foot.
What was that Rory Lobb thing, Bill? Repeat that.
If he wins the final, he'll be
Feedback.
only one of 6 to win.
With Will Anderson,
three
I
clubs.
cannot wait for hard yakka workwear. Will Anderson has been good enough
Yes, well,
to stick around Melbourne. He's just doing a magnificent job with the breakfast show, but normally weekends he goes and does, pretty much whatever he pleases. So we really appreciate the fact that you've stayed in Melbourne.
I'd rather he
Thank
didn't
you.
stay around for this segment, though, Jim.
You're
I really
okay,
would.
mate. You've had an okay year, haven't you? JB came in and he said he wanted me to back over the fact that your nickname at high school was extra virgin.
and it was.
And
I like that. You
I
did
don't.
that one
Yeah, I
last
think
year.
everyone liked
No, we
that.
That was last year's joke.
Yeah, that's why I'm not here for last year's jokes.
No,
I'm
no.
here for fresh stuff, okay, mate? So that's why we're getting that out of the way.
Do me first. Can I get out of the way first? Can you?
Or
you
can I
go,
do you
please?
first? Okay, well, I've got to do apologies before we get to you, Damo. That's all I would say is I've got to do apologies. I mean, firstly, obviously, I think it was pretty sad that Bernie couldn't be involved in the show this year. So, he was obviously still exhausted from that live golf question from last year. Had to have a year off, and I appreciate that.
yes.
What does Bernie have in common what does Bernie have in common with an armless waiter, Bill? Do you reckon?
Can't deliver.
It's that
Can't
neither of them
deliver?
bring anything to the table.
There it is.
There's four. I got 4 of them.
Yeah,
You
It's
watch
been
Bill
good-
steal everything you're saying.
I'm fine with that because it's good that Bernie joins us from Adelaide because it is a place famous for people going missing. Bernie contributed more to the Melbourne Premiership he celebrated than he has to the Saturday Rub this year. Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's contributed more. And he was dead. So while the rest of the Saturday Rub have got in their Hawaiian shirts, all Bernie's brought to the table is nothing. Well, I've had enough. I've had enough of you claiming this is your segment, Bernie Vince, when we all know that Rosie Walton,
Rosie
breakfast
does.
star, every week
double
is
agent
the
Rosie.
stick to your dicky knee as she puts together your segment that you pop up. And by the way, I've gone with the nice version of that because that was going to be a ventriloquist with the hand up the old. But I work with Rosie. Now, it's fine over in Adelaide. I know you're flying in Adelaide.
He's nerding out. Look at it. I can see the body language. His shoulders are slumping.
Your show, no, you know what? Your show is great in Adelaide, number one in the ratings, absolutely flying.
Yep.
And I know you feel pretty smart, but like, it's pretty easy to feel smart when you're in a room with jars and Bluey, mate. That's like sitting between two potatoes and claiming you're the best at doing the crossword. Like, so the theme of this year has been.
They won't like that.
They won't get it. Don't worry. It's got crossword in it. They won't understand what I'm talking about. I want them to try and spell potatoes. That'll be fun. If in doubt, get out. You have got out of this entire show this year, including changing your name to Bernie Vine. Bernie Vine.
That's a hotel problem.
Well, but I mean, when you were asked where's the sea, you said Kane wasn't invited. So anyway, this is sorry, Jim can't get involved in this one anymore.
Not anymore.
Can we have a little grab of Bernie's finest?
All's happy when it ends well, days.
All's well that ends well, Bern. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep, there you go. All's well that ends well. So, congratulations, Bern. That's it. That's fine. That was all right.
Mate, I got tears coming down.
That's okay, mate. That was pretty nice, wasn't it? Did okay?
Nice.
That was pretty good. Now, JB.
This won't take long.
Don't hold back.
There's only one man you think of when you hear JB in footy, Jason Bennett.
Yes, JB.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Jason Bennett isn't here, which is good news, so I can get a word in. Now, you've had a pretty big year, JB.
Yes.
I appreciate this. And you know what?
year.
Last year I told you that I pointed the finger in your direction. I said you hadn't been bringing much to the table and you had to have a good look at your life. And I got to be honest with you. It gives me no pleasure to say this. It's not very fun, but you've had a pretty good year. You got married.
Hang on.
You've been flying above hang on, Bernie. Don't think this is the time to finally get involved in the show.
Exactly.
I didn't get any positives. This is starting to turn positive.
You went down the slide. Congratulations, that. I mean, obviously for a great cause, dressed up as the great Axl Rose. Axl Rose, of course, is an anagram. Bill, you know what an anagram is?
Yep. AX.
What?
AX.
Is that in English?
AXR. There you go.
An anagram. Do you know what an anagram is?
Yeah, it's capitals.
No, you're thinking.
mean something.
He's thinking of acronym.
Oh, you're thinking of an acronym.
Exactly.
Oh, it is not the same.
It's like an acronym.
And then Bill thinks an anagram is what you get to test if you have breast cancer.
It's a mammogram.
Okay. Oh, well done. There you go. You knew that one. It's in your special interest area. So,
You're on the gym, by the way. Go to gym.
Shifted already. It's good.
Shifted over there.
so it is an anagram of Earl's Ox, of course, which is that's a different anagram. But you were spotted in St Kilda. Now you were spotted in St Kilda one day, and
unfair.
there was
Big lunch.
There was an eyewitness that described you as.
I was walking my dog down Canterbury Road on a Sunday afternoon. Could have sworn it was James Brayshaw. He looks very wobbly.
Now, I don't know if that was a legitimate witness.
Yeah, it was.
But it's very hard for me at the moment, Bill, because there's not a lot to get on JB.
No,
and then
good.
I started thinking about it. I was like, well, hang on.
Come on.
JB's had a great year, right?
Good
Like, you know, he's had an absolute year. He's flying. But you know who else has had a great year? Max
Me?
Gawn. Max Gawn has had a great year,
Great,
right?
yes.
All Australian, probably again, 7-time All Australian.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team that he leads has fallen to absolute shit.
Yeah.
And you've got to look at the leadership and say what's been happening under the leadership. So
that's
everything
fair
that's
enough.
happened on this show
That's fair enough.
is down to you from
Yes.
now on. So here's a few things that you've got to take responsibility for, JB.
Yep.
Firstly, there was one week when Bertie wasn't going to be here, and you and the boss, the footy boss, he arranged for Tom Rockcliffe to be involved. And you quite rightly overruled and said, Bernie doesn't bring anything to the table. He does not need to be replaced.
I was finished 10 minutes ago. And there's
Bernie,
nothing.
if you thought I was finished on you, you're so naive. So anyway, you brought in X, the guy I call formerly Twitter.
Yep.
And anyway, it's good that there was Deadpool and Wolverine this year because that was at least one good performance from an X-Man in something in the media. And then they brought in the guy they're calling the best new talent in football this year. Well, my question is he?
No.
Because he started pretty strong, but then he had a very lay down Sally Robbins approach to finishing the year because Izzy is so laid back, he's up his own arse. He was on the Friday Rub. He was asked to provide one segment for the Friday Rub. He said, I'm saving my best stuff for the Saturday Rub. I tuned into Saturday, of course, as I always do.
And nothing.
Well, I guess he's saving it for another time. Because I think he's saving his best stuff for the Christmas Rub because it hasn't come out this year. This is an example of his commentary from last week.
Uh-oh.
7 scoring shots, is he, in 7 minutes? It's been a fast start, as BT said.
Yeah, that's been a fast start.
Good bounce by umpire Brett Rosebery.
Come on,
Got happy with himself.
He got too happy with
did,
himself. And
exactly.
here's like even the worst bit. He came in, couldn't even remember the names of all the members of the team.
You got Purple and Bernie.
Bernie again.
So it's come back to me again.
Forgotten you, Bernie.
Starting to see a theme.
Oh,
are you,
shut up,
Bernie?
Damo. Don't you start piling in Four Eyes, extra virgin. Get to Damo.
Okay, well, let's get... Okay, Damo, it is your turn. Now, Jim, again,
Yeah, I can't. I'm
this is on
guilty.
you.
I'm guilty.
You are guilty. You went on a podcast. Firstly, a podcast, again, this is not the place for you.
No.
You do less hours for more pay. That is the Jim way. You do not go on a free podcast. This is not for you. And then you
let your guard down, Jim.
say things like this.
Damo, not only great sort of news.
I like Damo's a lot funnier than people give him
No,
credit for.
hugely funny.
He's very smart. He plays the role very, very
No,
well.
he totally does.
Oh, I got that wrong.
You got that wrong.
No, you did. It's
And
the
then-
truest thing you've ever said.
And then Damo has played that more times than Triple M has played Mr. Brightside. I've heard of canned laughter, but I've never heard of a canned compliment. Just carries it around in his phone ring because apparently JB said you were funny, mate. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. To your face, Damo, he didn't mean it. He absolutely didn't mean it. He was on a podcast and he was just being nice about his team. And the reason I know that he was lying in that moment is this is what he also said on that podcast.
Bernie Vince. What a great talent.
That's it. That's it. Why does everyone come back to me all the time?
Have a chat to Bernie too, Will. You're not a great talent, Will said.
Okay, Bill, who called it harmless talent, harmless waiter.
Weekender.
Damo thinks he's funny. But the problem is that Damo is getting confused, JB, by Nick Larky's impression of Damo, which is, he is actually funny. In fact, I have scoured through, we put into the, so they have a great system here at Triple M. You can basically look up, if you search 2 words, and we put in Damo and funny. Only one in the entire system came up, and this is what it is.
The breast and fairest.
That's it. Of course, on Damo's dish, you had the chicken.
The breast and fairest.
Yeah, chicken breast and first. And then, of course, you filled in for Howie. Now on Friday night on the Friday huddle, and you asked some hard hitting questions in Howie's hot topics.
Questions.
Hey, Brownie, spearmint leaves are coming back into vogue. I saw in the paper today. Allen's Confectionery, they're going to bring them back exclusively. This is the hard-hitting stuff that Howie sometimes brings to our show. Favourite lolly / chocolate?
Yeah, I could sit there and devour a whole box of freckles. Well, I'm a big freckle man.
I mean, Nathan Brown is a big freckle man. He's happy to be a freckle man. Luke Darcy is also a freckle man. I feel like it's a Bulldogs thing.
I think it is.
Anyway, so when in doubt, get out has been the theme of this year, and Damo's certainly taken it. He's got out of journalism, which we've liked. This year's count, he's broken the same amount of stories as he's broken cars, which is one. He used to go places he was not meant to, and now that is the Triple M car park. It smashed his car like Bevo wants to smash his face. So, my favourite story of Damo and his car, though, is the sunroof story. Now, if people don't know this story, this is on, it had been a rainy day. Damo decides the rain stops. I'm going to open up the sunroof. Hadn't taken into account, Bernie, that he might have to turn a corner. Turns the corner. All the water comes straight in. Soaks in. How am I meant to trust a guy's opinion, JB, on whether the Tassie Stadium should have a roof? When he doesn't understand how the roof works in the car.
Oh, no.
He thinks he's the Fast and the Furious. He's Mr. Bean.
You are Mr. Bean.
So, JB, you've got to take responsibility for this. When you're away, it all goes wrong. The show you were away, you were in the Maldives.
Yeah, Maldives.
The Maldives.
Yeah, Maldives.
When you went away, firstly, Bernie.
What did I do?
Back to you, Ben.
Well, you couldn't get your camera to work.
That's right.
For that entire show, couldn't get your camera to work. What was happening with the? What was wrong with the camera, Bernie?
Well, I'm not great with technology. Well,
what was wrong with the camera, Bernie?
There's a bit of sticky tape on the camera. I had texts and everything coming in. They couldn't work it out.
Just black tape over there. Black tape. Duct tape.
I don't know why that was still on there.
The worst sign was that you were not involved in the show for 35 minutes and no one noticed.
It was our best show.
That was the same show where Bill was bidding on an apartment. The whole first segment, you were bidding on an apartment into the first segment, like you think you're Dave Hughes on the block. And then it turns out you didn't even have the money for the deposit if you'd won the apartment.
Well, I didn't think.
Oh, you reckon?
Okay, Bill. The ray gun of the team. You are the ray gun of this operation because we look at you, Bill, and we can't tell if it's good or bad. We can't tell if you're doing it on purpose. But we are entertained. And look, you tried to make fun of me when I started doing the breakfast show here on the Saturday Rub, and this was tough.
Oh, no.
This was very tough, Bill, because I love your work. I love your show. I listen every week, and I was about to help out the network and go into this new job, and you were making fun of me with this.
Someone who's cut up rough about the new breakfast crew.
Who's that, really? Bill?
Especially with Will Henderson being on the crew.
Yeah. Oh.
Bloody rocket Eid.
Come on, Mitch! Come on, Mitch! So is he just not working hard? You will! Right, okay. Okay. You Rocker, we can't think. Come on. Okay. Come on. Right, okay. Get him off.
He's good. We work with Will.
Will is fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
That's the lowest hanging fruit that you could possibly pluck from the tree.
You know what my favourite thing about that is?
It's good.
We have the same name. You're making fun of me for my name. My name is your name.
No, I'm Anthony, Will.
Yeah, but you...
But that was craft, Will. You got to like that. You're in the game. You can understand craft. That is craft.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and Bernie, by the way, if you didn't like anything that I did today, it was all the work of a clever impersonator. Now, you do the quiz, of course, on this show, but you can't spell the name of the quiz.
Quiz! Q-U-I-N.
Q-U-I-N, I believe.
It's not that hard. It's Q-U-I-Z.
What?
You asked Oscar Piastri if he'd driven around Albert Park before. Firstly, he's from Melbourne, Bill.
Yes.
And he'd been in the race the previous year.
He didn't finish.
This is how rarely you were involved in the show this year. JB forgot your name.
Port Adelaide. Who need to win?
Bill's just wandering through the fixture.
No. Well, it's gather round, and both Adelaide sides need to win.
Phil. That's how irrelevant he is to me. He's just bloody chopping his ass in late. He can be called Phil.
The best interview you did of the entire year was with the Port Adelaide mascot, who could not speak because finally it was a meeting of intellectual equals.
Guess who else did an interview with the mascots? Armless one down. But he interviewed 5, aren't he? Interviewed 1.
You went on the Amazing Race, which is what Donald Trump calls white people. And You went on it with your son, which is great, because Jim didn't even get invited to his son's birthday.
That is true. That is 100% true.
Because actually the real amazing race is the ladies of South Yarra in their Lululemon running away from you on the tan.
Yuck.
I don't know if you saw this picture of you in the paper, but it looked like an advertisement against the dangers of stranger danger. Like I've heard of Bigfoot. That was Big Fat. Fat foot emerging from the bushes to scare these women away.
I was on the
And
track.
then today you're bringing in McDonald's for Rosie, like you're an Uber Eats delivery. Last week. You drive your Uber driving people down to Geelong.
What a story.
This is what you've done. You've moved out of Geelong. You've abandoned your roots, and now you have to import 2 people back into Geelong.
I've
to
still got
even
my
it
roots
out.
down there.
Oh,
Jim. This is what I got to consider.
This is you, though. This is on you.
Your fault.
This is your
You're
responsibility.
the leader.
Let me guess, my fault too?
Yes. Burn.
Shut up. Adelaide missing.
Sorry, who's that? Sorry, mate. I didn't see you there. Sorry.
Must have a Band-Aid over
Yeah, oh, it's old PMD, poor man's Daisy. So now, was Bill on the Amazing Race?
Well, we don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't actually know because there's been no evidence of him in any of the promos that he actually appeared on this program. And we do know that Bill is pretty much happy wherever he goes. In fact, earlier this year, he's the only man who's got a hernia and thought it was a holiday because he has ended up in hospital and he has described hospital as if he's one of the characters from The Castle. Like, your amazement at how just normal things happen is like a child being shown, like an Amish child being shown the outside world for the first time, Rosie.
Going to hospital. How good is that when you actually go to hospital? They look after you like a treat. You got this little pad here with the television, Channel 78, you got the races on or whatever you want. Go to the news.
78.
Then, and I was in this hospital where you could order off the menu any time of the day. So I ordered up the steak and eggs and chips and I was starving. And then I had jelly. How good is jelly in hospital? I had jelly and ice cream. It was just fantastic. I loved it. Just being pampered on. It was fantastic.
The show theme is when in out, get out, but Bill's theme is when in out, get out.
The simple things. That's all you need.
Well, that's it. I'm done. Is that enough? Is that all right?
That was good. We love that. Any more on Bernie?
Might have
please?
No.
Any more on Bernie?
Please.
I'm sorry, Bernie.
No, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry, mate. You know what?
genuine?
Like, I just wanted to include you in the show.
That's it.
Well, might have had to have that hernia revisited.
What?
Really?
Hang on.
Oh, hang on.
The hernia's back.
No, we're not sure.
Just told to lay low for a couple of weeks.
Hang on. So hang on.
Didn't lay
Oh,
low.
didn't I? Wow. Apparently.
Did lay low.
Yeah, I think that was more the problem.
Will Anderson, you
well.
are a star. Round of applause.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Righto, Will. Burns got the
Oh, thank you,
I
Bernie.
like it.
Bring
Brilliantly
the
done, mate.
therapist in.
There, you can off there.
Will Anderson, the superstar.